Oakland this afternoon. The Raiders hope to strengthen their hold on the top spot in the AFC West as they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Welcome, everyone. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. The Raiders are off to a quick start at 5-1, but they've been off to quick starts before. 8-2 in 95, 6-2 in 98. Both those seasons ended in disappointment. But this year, Phil, well, the Raiders are winning the close games. That may be the difference.
Well, Greg, they're winning those close games, I think, because the offense, it's so well designed and it fits the quarterback, Rich Gannon, perfectly. Short passing game, that's what he does very well. But the reason, again, why they're winning those close games, his movement in the pocket, giving the Raider offense more opportunities. And you look at the Raiders and John Gruden, head coach, it's a tough job for him today because he's got to tell his team, we're going against a team that's 2-5. You cannot ease up. We've got to go out and dominate from the start.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks come in here champions of the AFC West a year ago, but they have struggled. Coach Mike Holmgren has a struggling defense, and he's looking for something to build on offense.
Well, on offense, he's going to try to build around Brock Heward. He's the quarterback. He wants to know, do I have a quarterback for the future? Well, if you go off of last week's game, Brock Heward against the Indianapolis Colts, I thought he played extremely well, moves around, shows that he has a good arm and can throw the football down the field.
It is a beautiful day here in Oakland. The sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky, but oh, how the wind is blowing. Temperature is 70 degrees, the wind 32 to 45, and we are told it could gust up to as much as 60 miles an hour. It is blowing hard down on the field. We'll see what kind of an effect it has as the game develops. The Raiders have won the toss, and they've elected to receive. And you're looking at Ryan Lindell.
Well, the big thing with this game today, Greg, is the win. The quarterbacks, receivers, punters, kickers, you got to come out, know how to judge that win and how to perform with it. Don't, for a quarterback, don't try to throw the football too hard, because when you do on a windy day, it usually gets away from you.
David Dunn is deep for the Raiders. He stands at his own goal line, and we are underway. This one drifts to the far side of the field, bouncing at the goal line. It's Dunn. And hit hard as he crossed the 15-yard line. So that's where Rich Gannon will put the ball in play for the Oakland Raiders. And Gannon, in his 13th season out of Delaware, more than 1,200 yards passing and 7 touchdowns, almost 200 yards and 4 touchdowns running.
Well, Rich Gannon has done it all for this offense, Greg, and we said it in the opening. The reason why they're 5-1, they can come from behind. The main reason, his movement in the pocket, creating passing lanes for himself.
First down at the 16-yard line. They will start it on the ground with Tyrone Wheatley, and Wheatley gets a couple and moves the pile to about the 19-yard line. Look at the Oakland offensive line, Bill.
When you look at this offensive line, it is big, and it's led by the center, number 63, Barrett Robbins.
Tyrone Wheatley, part of a terrific running back tandem with Napoleon Kaufman. John Ritchie blocks for them. Veteran Tim Brown having another standout year catching the football. There is John Gruden, former Mike Holmgren assistant. There are a bunch of those around the league. Wheatley, the lone back on second down. Gannon looks, throws, has it complete to Andre Rison on the near side of the field. And the Seahawks say they want it called an incomplete pass. But that is complete up to about the 23-yard line. It'll be third down. Randy Jordan has come on, and he's in the backfield on third down. They need to reach the 26-yard line for a first down. Gannon, with time, batted down over the middle, and it falls incomplete. Lamar King, we were talking about him.
Well, that's something. Hey, the Seahawks off to a good start defensively. What they want to do, especially in third and short, stay in your pass rush lanes. That time they do it, and look what happens. Lamar King right in front of Rich Gannon. There's nowhere for him to throw the football. Good job by a defensive lineman, not trying to go for the sack. Do your job for the defense. Charlie
Rogers, who had 215 yards returning last week. With a booming punt from Shane Leckler. And Rogers back at his own 9-yard line. The 20, the 25, and that's where he goes down. And out comes quarterback Brock Huard, Seattle's third-round pick in 1999. Now in his second season, he makes his third start this year as Coach Mike Holmgren researches the future.
Well, that's what he's doing, Greg. And last week, Brock Huard hurt his right knee and his right groin. Didn't practice until Friday this week. Did a good job in practice. Says nothing's bothering him, so he's out there today.
Here's a look at Mike Holmgren, who told us he is high on Brock Huard's future. Throws the ball well and is very composed for a young man. First down from the 25-yard line. On the blitz, he eludes the tackle, gets rid of it. It is incomplete out here to the near side, intended for a Tulamili. That was Charles Woodson in on the blitz. Let's take a look at the offense. The line, some good young players on a line still developing. First-round pick Chris McIntosh makes his second straight start at right tackle. Ricky Waters, Max Strong in the backfield. Keep an eye on Darrell Jackson, an emerging fine rookie wide receiver out of Florida. Second down. Waters spinning in the backfield, may have gotten a yard or two. William Thomas with the tackle. The Oakland defense. John Gruden says he wants his defense to get more physical, especially up front. That means Bryant, Jackson, Russell, and Johnstone. The linebackers, William Thomas, Greg Biekert, Elijah Alexander.
And the secondary, Charles Woodson having an outstanding year, and Johnny Harris starting a strong safety today.
There's Chuck Bresnahan, defensive coordinator, who has some concerns about Oakland's defense, which has started slowly at times this season. Third and 10. Huard over the middle. That's complete. First down yardage and more for Ricky Waters. Down the middle of the field and dragged down inside the 30-yard line. Anthony Dorsett made the stop after a 46-yard gain.
Well, that's the one thing Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders, does not want to see. They try to pressure Brock Huard, but look over the middle. William Thomas trying to hit Ricky Waters at the line of scrimmage, trying to stop him from coming out, but once that contact is over, Ricky Waters gets away from him and makes a fine catch over the middle.
Nice little catch by Ricky Waters, leading back. First down now, just inside the 30-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Huard to throw. Over the middle, wide open, is number 82, Darrell Jackson, the rookie. There's a loose football, and now it's called incomplete. It'll be second and 10.
Well, Darrell Jackson going over the middle. Greg, he does. He's wide open. Number 82. Watch as he goes across. Perfect throw from Brock Huard. Catch. He does have control of the football. It looked like to me that he made a football move. In other words, he tried to make a move going forward. I'm surprised maybe the Raiders would challenge that.
Second and 10. Ricky Waters. Left side for a couple. Brady Jackson with the tackle.
Well, Greg, we had a chance to talk to Brock Huard last night, and making his third start, he just told us how he's feeling better each start, how he's more comfortable, seeing things on defense better. But most of all, what caught my attention is that he felt really confident, which I think he should, going against this Raider defense. They give up big plays, and he feels like they can have success in the passing game.
You are looking at a third and 6. Has time, throws, that's up in the air and incomplete and almost picked off by Anthony Dorsett.
Well, today with the wind blowing, and it's going to be a little hard for the quarterbacks to control the football sometimes, you have to be careful when you're throwing short passes. Don't let it get high, because anytime the football is thrown high to receiver, he knocks it up in the air, especially over the middle, it usually results in an interception.
Wind blowing hard as Ryan Lindell lines up a 44-yard attempt. The rookie out of Washington State is 3 out of 4 with a long of 51, but it is gusting on the field. The kick is away, And it's perfect and plenty of distance. So Lindell and the Seahawks get on the board first. 3-0, 10:47 to play in the first. Seahawks successful putting points on the board on 6 out of 8 opening drives this year. This is the Seahawks' first lead since the fourth quarter 3 weeks ago at Kansas City. Brock Heward gets 3 points on the board.
You know, Greg, scoring 6 out of their 8 opening drives, it just tells me great planning by Mike Holmgren, what he does with the offense, and also it must give the quarterback tremendous confidence to know that you're going to go out there, coach is going to give me some plays where I can complete the passes and get us going.
This booming kick all the way over the end zone and out. And a little pushing and shoving on the field results in nothing as we look at the Golden Gate Bridge and take a timeout. Welcome back to the east side of the Bay. 10:42 to play in the first quarter. The Seahawks with a 3-0 lead on the Raiders. That's nothing new for the Raiders. I don't think they're comfortable unless they're trailing in a football game, Phil.
They like adversity, so they get it going early.
First down from the 20-yard line. Richie in motion to line up behind Wheatley, who gets the handoff, and he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. It isn't going to get anything. And for our first check of the day down on the field, let's go to Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. As far as the win, it's the complete X factor down here. It's a total crapshoot. Ryan Lindell of Seattle couldn't make a field goal to save his life before the game. Then he bangs that one in. And Sebastian Janikowski told me he has basically no idea where the ball is going. Longtime Raider people said this is as bad as it's ever been. Back to you.
Thanks, Armin. Until lately, that's nothing new for Sebastian Janikowski. He's had a rough go of it the first part of this season. 2nd and 10. Gannon throws, and out of the backfield, Wheatley doesn't make connections. That's incomplete.
But I got to get some of Armin's hairspray because his hair wasn't moving down there. It's 30-mile-an-hour winds and solid as a rock, Armin.
3rd and 10.
But you look at the Seattle defense, 2 things that I've noticed already that Mike Holmgren's got to like, and Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator. Starting out, looks like they're trying to hold up against the run because they've been terrible against it so far this year. In the first drop-back pass and 3rd down situations, the defensive lineman made Rich Gannon stay in the pocket. That's the key against the Raider offense. Do not let Gannon run around.
Gannon with a straight drop, throws, and wide open is Jordan. And Jordan with first down yardage and more out to the 35-yard line. It's a first down for the Raiders.
Well, that just epitomizes the Raider offense, that play right there. Good job of the Seahawk defensive linemen. They do keep him in the pocket, but watch the little movement that Gannon creates. Steps up, nobody in front of him, throws a short pass over the middle where they do most of their damage, and Jordan gets the first down. Look at this. Nobody in front, but Gannon does take a hit from Lamar King.
Jordan being looked at on the sideline. Napoleon Kaufman makes his first appearance of the day in the backfield. On first down from the 35, Gannon to throw again. Popped up in the air and incomplete off the hands of tight end Ricky Dudley, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Ricky Dudley comes into this game 8 catches for 97 yards and no touchdowns. And John Gruden said, are we looking for more production out of the tight end position? You bet we are.
Well, you know what happens? Receivers don't catch the ball, don't get a lot of catches. They say, you're not throwing the ball to me enough. And John Gruden had the perfect answer for it. He says, make us throw the ball to you. That means go down there, get open, and if you get open enough, trust me, the quarterback will find you and throw the football to you.
Wheatley to the 40. First down, close to midfield.
Well, the one thing you look for, Greg, I'm sorry, to look for when you look at a defense, you've got to space yourself. In other words, try to keep somebody in all the lanes, and that time you can see the defensive line overcommits to the pass, and all of a sudden there's a big hole in the right side for Tyrone Wheatley.
Gannon holding the ball up high, showing pass. Wheatley with the 13-yard pickup. First down at the 48-yard line. Short pop. This one complete to Dudley, and Dudley close to a first down.
Now, you know, Greg, we were talking about Ricky Dudley. We got to finish this off by saying, though, that John Gruden says, look, just help us win. He's talking to Ricky Dudley. You're doing a terrific job blocking for our running game, which is one of the keys to our success, and just keep working, and the footballs will come your way.
2nd and 2. Kaufman now the lone back. And he's going to take the handoff. First down and more. Inside the 40. Penalty marker is down. Back in the Oakland backfield. And it's going to be a holding call that'll bring this play back. Our referee today is Bill Carollo.
You know, I don't know how the players are dealing with the wind on the field, but we're not doing a very good job up here.
87, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Jeremy Brigham is guilty of the hold.
Well, let's see what happens to the right side. Michael Sinclair, number 70, being held. Look at that arm on the outside. Wraps it around. You're allowed to put those hands on the outside of the defender, but they must come right back to the inside. If there's any delay at all, the officials are going to throw that flag.
So now it's a 2nd and 12. Seattle defenders yelling, "Watch the screen." Wheatley is the back behind Gannon. And now we have a penalty marker down.
I think Lincoln Kennedy's saying, look, I just got up to hear the audible. If he was not down in his stance, he's allowed to turn his head and listen to the quarterback. But once you establish your stance as an offensive lineman, you cannot get up and move.
There's no foul on the play. Remains 2nd down.
Well, see, now, you know what? I argue with those referees for 15 years.
And they never changed one, did
Never. But, you know, see, Lincoln Kennedy's got something that I don't have.
Size?
That's 100 pounds and about 6 inches, you know.
So we're still at 2nd and 12. And Seahawks defenders are still warning about the screen.
Man, that screen.
Gannon throws and dropped by number 81, Tim Brown. You just don't see that happen a lot.
Well, that's, Greg, that's just one thing. It's the wind.
Yeah.
I'm sure as the football, as it's thrown down the middle, anywhere on this field today, Tim Brown down the bottom of your screen, oh, this is something new. Him going short across the middle. Rich Gannon does a good job. Oh, the ball looks like it's staying on line. Tim Brown, you can see his head just turned slightly to the inside, and that's enough to make him drop the pass.
And you know, during warm-ups, Phil, he made a one-handed grab, made you and I turn and look at each other. 3rd and 12 now. Gannon looking to create something. On the move, he's going to keep it. 45, first down, out of bounds. Exactly what Mike Holmgren doesn't want to happen. We have a penalty marker down on this side of the field.
You know what? That's just a really bad job by the Seattle defensive line. Their number one goal coming in this game was to make sure they keep Rich Gannon in the pocket.
Holding, 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's left tackle Matt Stinchcomb guilty of the hold.
And as Rich Gannon drops back the pass, though, Greg, the defensive line just disintegrates on the left side. Nobody has containment. And again, you know, I think Steve Sidwell said it best. He goes, do you really want to win the game? If you really want to win the game, then as a defensive player, go out there and show me. Play with some discipline. Stay in your passing lanes and make Rich Gannon stay in the pocket. And that time, that was just, well, no chance.
And when we asked Michael Sinclair about that last night, he said, it's really hard. It's really hard not to go full bore after the quarterback.
Yeah, it is. You know, and for a lot of reasons, you got to pick your spots when you want to take that chance to go for the sack. But again, the key is you want to make Gannon throw it down the field from the pocket, not from moving around.
3rd and 22 now for the Raiders. Gannon with time, running out of time now, throws complete to Wheatley. And Wheatley is tackled at about his own 43-yard line, well short of a first down by Sean Springs.
You know, as we heard all these things, it's you know, again, of course, saying what you want to do in a game plan, sometimes it sounds easy, hard to do, and we had to laugh, too. We say, well, how many teams come in and say they're going to double Tim Brown? They're going to not let him catch the football. That's, well, he's caught over 800 passes, so a lot of schemes do not work once the game starts.
Leckler got off a 69-yarder the first time. Charlie Rogers stands at his own 10. Oh, he booms this one. Floater down to the inside the 5-yard line, takes a Raider bounce, and they will cover it at the 1, at the half-yard line. Torrey James down there, and what a terrific punt by the rookie, Shane Leckler. Seahawks will start in the hold when we come back. There's Shane Leckler. 8 of his last 15 punts for 50-plus yards. That last one, 54 from the half-yard line. Heward and the Seahawks. And he'll throw out of the end zone. Over the middle, incomplete at the 5-yard line. Beekert with his arms wrapped around to Tulamili.
You know, I have to chuckle a little as I look at this time. The Seattle offense backed up in the end zone. So last night we were talking to Damon Heward. We were talking about the fans, the hostility. It's going to be so good for you to play there. And what did John Kipnis say to him? He goes, the fans hate you so much you can feel the hate from them.
Quick drop, pass out here is complete to Neely, and Neely out of bounds short of the 10-yard line.
Pass completed to Tulamili.
Well, if you want to stand on the sidelines and watch an NFL game, here's what it looks like. It's fast. The players are even bigger in person, and they really hit hard when given the chance.
That's what it looks like, especially if you're about 3'2". Tulamili getting the start at tight end today. 3rd and 3. Heward pulls it down and dives forward looking for a first down, and he will be close.
He picks it up even after the injury last week. He learned a little something about scrambling in the NFL. Look, you're taking over a team. You want to show your teammates you're tough, and you can do all those things. So he got beat up. You know, he sucked it up a little this week. Gets to practice on Friday. Starting again this weekend. As you watch Brock Heward play, the thing that caught my eye as I watched the Indianapolis game last week, it's how easy he makes everything look. He has a lot of grace. He's very smooth, and he throws the football with a lot of power.
Going to throw it again. This one is picked off by the Raiders. 21 is Eric Allen. Career interception number 48.
That's Eric Allen just taking advantage of a rookie wide receiver, because that's a good throw by Brock Heward. Watch Jackson, Darrell Jackson, number 82, stands and waits, and Eric Allen goes in front of him. If Jackson takes one step back towards the quarterback, Eric Allen cannot come around him. Watch as he comes down the field. Boy, Eric Allen looking at the quarterback. Well, there's the reason.
He slipped.
Jackson slips. Keep your feet underneath you, and you won't slip.
And a huge opportunity now for the Raiders. First down at the Seattle 21. Wheaton, right side, inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Anthony Simmons with the tackle. There is Heward on the sideline. Boy, he stands far and above everybody else, too, at 6'5".
Yeah, but the big thing there, young quarterback, you throw an interception. It's a little rough out on the field. The wind's blowing. You just got to know it's going to be a struggle all day long. Make your mind up there, and you got to go out there and fight.
Second and 5. Kaufman tried to break it outside. Nice stop in the backfield by Riddick Parker, number 97.
Well, Riddick Parker, number 97, just a hard-working defensive lineman. There he is. Can't get my telestrator to work. Fights through the block and gets over there and makes the tackle. Because if he doesn't make this tackle, watch your screen. You don't see another defender coming into it. It's going to be a big gain by Kaufman if he doesn't do that.
Loss of 2 on the play. Now 3rd and 7. Randy Jordan, shaken up earlier, is back on the field. He's out in the pattern. Gannon throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Penalty markers down. That was Willie Williams all over Tim Brown.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, that's how you want to play defense against the
Pass
Raiders.
interference, 27, defense. First down.
And Willie Williams was in perfect position. Watch. Boy, nice job. You know Tim Brown's going across the middle. You're there. You see the pass. Just a little too aggressive.
Following the penalty, first and 10 for the Raiders.
You know, it's funny. To watch that, it's no secret anymore where Tim Brown makes his living. Tim Brown sits there and says, I make my living over the middle. So first down from the 16-yard line. Gannon going to throw this side, incomplete, and breaking free was David Dunn, number 88.
That was a good job by Rich Gannon, audibilizing to a play that he knows Seattle's going to have a tough time defending. The inside receiver went around the outside receiver, who was James Jett, and look, the defenders get crossed up, and nobody is covering Dunn as he goes down the field. They had game planned that, and I'm sure John Gruden said to Rich Gannon, when you see this look, here's the play. It should create a big play. It was there, just overthrew the pass.
David Dunn was that close to his first touchdown of the season. Gannon to throw again. This time, down the middle, touchdown, Tim Brown.
Well, that was the play where Seattle was in a defense to try to take away Tim Brown. They have Kerry Josephs to the inside number. No, he's not number 28. Two defenders. But when Tim Brown goes up the field, nobody had him deep. They had him inside, outside, but nobody deep.
Janikowski for the extra point. And it is good. Gannon, 8 touchdown passes this season, 5 of them to number 81, Tim Brown, 7-3 Oakland. 114 consecutive games with a catch. In fact, the previous 113, he's had at least 2 catches in each game. And 802 for his career. Janikowski the kick. Fabian Bowen to the 25, to the 30, and out to about the 32-yard line. That's where the Seahawks will go to work after a 23-yard kickoff return, and Tim Brown pulling in the touchdown catch that has the Raiders on top. Well, there's a couple of the many people who are happy they didn't buy a pay-per-view boxing match over the weekend.
It just shows you there's always somebody out there for you. The perfect couple.
Perfect.
I'm jealous. They're sitting in the stands, a beautiful day, enjoying the game.
Brock Hewart set to go to work, first down. From the 34-yard line, the kid, Mr. Ricky Waters, tries the left side, spinning and breaking free and close to a first down. Knowing Mike Shanahan as we know him, he is going to be a really unhappy guy this week.
Well, their defense has not played well all year long, so
Ricky Waters busts it up the middle into about the 40 and inside the 40-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. That's an 18-yard pickup.
well, you look at this Greg, we saw a graphic earlier. The Raiders have fallen behind in 7 games, and this is one of the reasons why. Because their defense just can't go out there early in the games and set the tone and put their offense in good positions. And watch Darrell Russell, 96, just getting turned completely around, creates a big hole, and Ricky Waters takes advantage of it.
John Gruden told us the defense has been given more running to do this week.
Got to stay in shape, and the defensive line in particular has to come out and start playing better.
Penalty marker down as Reagan Upshaw moved on the near side of the defensive line.
You know, I even posed that question, Greg, to John Gruden, because we've done enough of their games. And I said, you know, I've noticed as the game goes along sometimes.
Offside, 91, defense, unabated to the quarterback, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
I said, your defensive line looks like sometimes they can come out and physically, like, win the battles early, but they fatigue and start to lose some of that pressure as the game goes along. And he said, absolutely. You know, he didn't mince words. He goes, we've had receivers win games, the quarterback or running back. We got to have our defense and our defensive line step up, be the heroes, and win a game for us.
1st and 5. Ricky Waters spinning for a first down, and there's another penalty marker down. This will be a hold against the Seahawks. And you can understand why Mike Holmgren doesn't like this.
Holding, 62, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's on the center, Chris Gray.
Well, you can watch it, Chris Gray right in the middle. Gets those, oh, nice. Got the left hand and the right hand out there, and just good takedown. But, you know, as we talked to Mike Holmgren as you look at the penalties this season by Seattle. This team, it's not good enough physically, just to come into games and overcome a lot of mistakes. So holding penalties, interceptions, drop passes, they got to play almost perfect to win.
And we get another penalty marker. That's 3 straight plays, and another one flies as Ricky Waters hits the deck. Number 58. Elijah Alexander, 57. Roderick Coleman in the middle of all that.
Well, that's going to be a personal foul.
There are 2 fouls on the play. False start, right tackle, offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 57. Defense, by rule, the personal foul unsportsmanlike, unnecessary roughness will be enforced. 15 yards from the previous spot, first down.
Advantage, Seattle.
Hey, that's a good call, Greg. I know it's an aggressive game, and they say you hit till the whistle blows. Well, you know what? The whistle blew. It's over. They're blowing the whistle. Stop. And you sling the player down, and they're going to throw the penalty flag.
It was a false start, so it happened at the very beginning of the play, long before Ricky Waters got the handoff. Ball inside the 30-yard line.
I got you.
First down from the 29. Waters again finds a way across the 29 to about the 28, maybe the 27-yard line. Pick up of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. We still continue to do battle with the wind up here in the booth.
It is going. I know. Well, you heard Bill Carolla just tell the fellow official, hold the football until the offense comes up and the center can grab it, because the wind was moving the position of the ball.
Ewart to throw. Pulls it down and goes down at the 30-yard line. Reagan Upshaw. Time winds down here in the first quarter. Well contested. Oakland Raiders lead at 7-3. We're coming back to Oakland right after this. Ball at the 30-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. 3rd and 11. Ewart throws near side. That's incomplete. And the defensive coordinator, Chuck Bresnahan, saying, that's fine, that's fine.
All right, yeah, the defense is settling down. He had some interesting comments to say about his defense. They got to mature. In other words, when he says they got to mature, they just got to quit making mistakes, mental errors. And he says, we made 5 mental errors against the Kansas City Chiefs the previous week, and every one of them resulted in a big play by the Chiefs offense.
And they have a timeout taken by the Seattle Seahawks. Heward having a conversation on the sideline, and Ryan Lindell looks like he'll get this one away from about 48 yards away. And for the moment, the wind appears to have died down. You better hurry.
The wind.
Let's check in with Armin. Armin.
Hey, Greg, it may be calm up there. It's definitely blowing down here, and it's going left to right. This is where Ryan was trying to hit the ball early in the warm-ups, and I would not be surprised to see this ball land on the goal line. Back to you.
Well, now, Ryan Lindell has gone off the field, and it appears that they'll go for it on 4th and 11.
Yeah, they are. Here comes Brock Heward. And I think this is a good decision. You missed the field goal. The Raiders are going to get the football at about the 37 or 38-yard line. And the wind, the big factor, so 4th and 11.
Judging by the flags on the flagpole, that wind would have been blowing right into Ryan Lindell's face. As Armin said, left to right. That's what Armin meant when he said left to right.
You quit.
4th and 11 from the 30-yard line. Over the middle, a little bit too low for Darrell Jackson coming across. Incomplete. We change possessions, we take a timeout.
Well, I'll show you why Mike Homer decided to go for it on 4th down instead of kicking a long field goal. Look at that football. The wind caught it, the nose was down, and it went right down in the dirt.
Tyrone Wheatley breaks the tackle, still on his feet, and now across the 35 to the 36-yard line before Anthony Simmons makes the stop after a 6-yard gain.
Well, the big problem, if I was the Seattle defense, and the Raiders got to know this too, they do know it, the Seattle defense is small by NFL standards, and they do wear down, so you have to be patient, keep running the football in there, and the Raiders have one of the old-fashioned offensive lines. It is extremely big, and they hope to wear them down as the game goes along.
Gannon will throw. Penalty markers down. Gannon still on his feet and now running across the 40. He has enough for the first down, and let's check the flag, which came out of the secondary. It's going to be against Seattle.
Holding, 94, defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Linebacker Chad Brown, the first time we hear his name today, it's on the end of a penalty.
Chad Brown, number 94. Look what happens going against Ricky Dudley. A little, well, there it is. You pull that jersey, they're going to see that down the field.
So the ball out to the 48-yard line, first down. Gannon gives to Kaufman. Kaufman trying to dip outside. He's across midfield to about the 46-yard line. And let's check in again with Jim Nance in New York. Jim.
Well, Greg, and the Minnesota Vikings win today. They came from behind, by the way, to beat the Bills. Gary Anderson with this kick became the NFL's all-time scorer, topping George Blanda. The most prolific scorer with 2,004 points, Gary Anderson. The Vikings, the only undefeated team, as the Rams fell today to Kansas City. Back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, they know George Blanda in these parts, don't they? Coming up on 13 minutes to play here in the first half. 2nd and 4 for Gannon and the Raiders. Gannon, deep drop, halftime, over the middle. There's a catch made by Andre Rison. Rison reverses field and is down at about the 22-yard line, and penalty markers are down again. That's a 25-yard pickup. Let's see if they tack on any more.
Well, while they're thinking of it, Greg, Rich Gannon, we talked to him on Friday.
The personal foul.
Well, the Seahawks just making all kinds of mistakes here early.
Scaring the runner while he was down, half the distance to the goal, first down.
But Rich Gannon was saying, I'd like to stay in the pocket more and throw the football down the field. And this time, good example of that, throws a strike to Andre Rison. And the personal foul. Well, the foul is that the hit doesn't look too bad late, but you're leading with your head, Anthony Simmons.
That moves the football all the way to the 11-yard line. First down for the Raiders. motion to give Wheatley inside the 10 to about the 9, a pickup of a couple on the play.
You know, Greg, so much was made, and we talk so much as we do our meetings. Rich Gannon having such a terrific year on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week. And, you know, we talked to John Gruden about Rich Gannon because he's the reason why they're 5-1. And he says, hey, this guy maxes out with his talent better than anybody's ever been around. In other words, taking what he knows about the game and his physical talents, and he gets every single thing out of it. And there's not many people or any athletes that can say that they've done that on the field.
Gannon, pump fake, throw, touchdown. Chalk up another one for Tim Brown.
That was one nice looking play by the Raiders. Rich Gannon, watch the little pump fake. Boom, that sets up Tim Brown. He makes the second cut, wide open over the middle for the touchdown.
A rare over-the-top delivery by Rich Gannon.
Must have felt funny.
Janikowski on for the extra point. It's good. 11:51 to play, and there's a penalty marker down. It's going to be a holding call on the Raiders.
Holding. Number 40 on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
You have really got to watch Tim Brown. There he is, 81. Watch the move. Fake outs. Oh, man, Kerry Joseph. He's covered. That's tough coverage. But then Reggie Tongue, the safety, is over the top. That little shake, just that little bit, was enough to get him wide open.
The holding call backs Janikowski up. This will be a 30-yard extra point attempt. And that's no problem. So Tim Brown on the receiving end of his second touchdown pass of the day by Rich Gannon. Beautiful day here in Oakland, along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbo, Tim Brown. 12 career touchdown catches against Seattle. You gotta like to see the Seattle Seahawks come to town if you're Tim Brown.
Oh, I'm sure they're really happy to see Tim too.
Janikowski's kick into the end zone, and it will not be returned. And here comes Brock Huard again.
Well, Greg, last night we talked to Brock Huard. It was a nice conversation. He seemed confident. I think he's feeling more comfortable about being the starting quarterback. But he said something interesting to me that really has made me think a lot about this. He started talking about his wife, Molly, and she used to be a basketball player at the University of Washington, too. He says she was a tough defensive player and really got in people's face. And she always tells me, when I'm out there, watch your body language. In other words, you got to present yourself to your teammate and everybody. Be positive. Feel good about yourself, even if you don't, because your teammates will see that, and it might make them perform better.
On first down, he throws near side. That's complete to Darrell Jackson, and Jackson to about the 25-yard line. Let's check in with Armin downstairs. Armin.
You know, Greg, you talk about Brock, and the other thing he said last night when we was talking about his brother Damon, who's a backup quarterback with Miami, any advice for him? He said, yeah, just let it rip. He said, people aren't going to remember if you're 15 for 26 for 160. They're going to remember if you played with passion and aggressiveness. We're going to find out right now just how much he's got in him.
Thanks, Armin. Boy, he's talking, and he was full of praise for his wife, Molly. He said, she's tough. And he said it again about 30 seconds later and again about a minute later. Yeah. She's tough.
Well, you could tell she was an athlete just by that comment about the body language. So it is very true and good information for Brock to kind of put away and learn from. In fact, Brock Huard told us, too, that he had heard Peyton Manning said before their game last week, no matter what happens, when you run off that field as the quarterback, when you run off, always hold your head high and never get down, because, you know, players, your teammates, when things go bad, trust me, they're looking for an excuse, and they'll blame it on the quarterback or the coach, so don't give them that opportunity.
Well, they've called a timeout, and Huard will walk over and have a conversation with the coach. We'll be right back. Brock Heward named as the starter 3 games ago.
I'm sorry, Greg. Well, he came off the sideline shaking his head. Now, you know what? This is tough. The wind's blowing. You're here. It's a hostile environment. You're playing a good football team. You had a few boo-boos on you this week. You're beat up. You know, there's a lot of things to overcome. You're young. You're going to make mistakes. So this is tremendous learning experience. And, you know, he's got to show his team and his coach that he can survive in these situations and be the quarterback of the future.
3rd and 5. Quick drop, quick pass, complete, first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Itula Mili, the tight end, with a 7-yard reception for the first down.
Watch this. This is a really kind of illustrates nice, easy motion, and it's tight coverage, and he sticks it in there, and Mili makes a nice catch.
And he just towers back there, Phil.
Well, he plays tall. He's 6'5", Greg, but he stands tall, throws the football over the top, and as we said a couple times, he does it with ease. So
the running play gets nothing. William Thomas wraps up Ricky Waters. A loss of 2, and it's 2nd and 12.
As you look at that, that's something the Raiders would like to see more. Their defense just go out there and physically dominate for some stretches. You do not see that enough from the Oakland Raiders. You're 5-1. You want to go out there and win some games easily, then you've got to go out there as a defense and create opportunities and just give no hope to the other team's offense.
Waters going to try the left side, and that's going to get nowhere. Lance Johnstone wrapping that one up on the near side. Loss of 1 will make it 3rd and 13.
Boy, John Gruden's speech this week, don't ease up, is really paying off so far. Watch Lance Johnstone, not great against the run usually, but a good job there fighting off the blocks and getting in the backfield and making the play.
Defensive coordinator Chuck Bresnahan says his defense has made improvement every week in cutting down on mental errors, but it's time to grow up.
It is. You're 5-1. Now you got to start making a statement what you're going to do the rest of the season.
Movement on the near side. That'll be a false start. Walter Jones, number 71, jumped off the line.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be 3rd and 18. Seattle with their 5th penalty of the day. Boy, if you're talking about body language, that's not good on the Seattle sideline.
No, it isn't. That's Lamar King. And, you know, also, Greg, the Raider defense, you got the lead. You got a long yardage situation. And most of all, you got a young quarterback over there. Now, and you're a 5-1 team. You got to be able to take advantage of these situations.
Boy, look how deep that Raiders secondary is. And the handoff, Ricky Waters up the middle, 30, 35, and smacked down at about the 36-yard line. That'll be shy of first down, and they'll have to kick. 12-yard pickup. Anthony Dorsett came up and made the hit.
Well, that's something he likes to do, Anthony Dorsett. Everybody knows the son of Tony Dorsett, the great running back from the Dallas Cowboys. Some of his teammates say, you know, it's a pretty big hitter, so when he comes flying in those piles, you got to watch out.
Jeff Beagle becomes only the 10th punter in NFL history with at least 1,000 punts and playing 200 games. Gets away his first of the day. Darian Gordon, and Gordon's down at about the 18-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return. We have about 7:48 to play in the first half. We told you earlier that Heward did not practice Wednesday or Thursday with the leg and groin injury. John Kitna is now throwing on the sideline as they talk to Heward, who is seated. First down from the 20-yard line for Gannon and the Raiders. Tyrone Wheatley. Left side, big hole. Up the middle. Midfield. Wheatley shakes the last tackler and goes for an 80-yard touchdown.
That is the Raiders don't expect to see from Tyrone Wheatley. John Gruden says Wheatley is my hammer guy. He goes up in there and splatters it. Watch John Ritchie, number 40. He leads it up in there. Nice solid block on Anthony Simmons. And the safeties out of position. And then Sean Springs tries to bring him down, but he can't.
Tyrone Wheatley is supposed to be the Thunder and Napoleon Kaufman the Lightning.
He looked fast on that play.
Janikowski for the extra point. The Raiders have busted loose for 14 points here in the second quarter. Tyrone Wheatley goes 80 yards, much to his coach's delight. Tyrone Wheatley went 80 yards for the touchdown. Boy, you want to know why Mike Holmgren's concerned about his defense. This is the third straight week Seattle has given up 20 or more points in the first half. This is Charlie Rogers from the 5. To the 24, forward to about the 25, and let's check in with Armin.
Greg, for the last few minutes, the Seattle team doctor has been checking out Brock Huard very closely. Does not like what he sees. The word is he has a concussion, and his return is questionable. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. So back into the fray comes John Kitna, who was the starting quarterback at the start of the season. Has 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions to his credit, and has been sacked 19 times.
Yeah, I think the thing about John Kitna, Mike Holmgren said he handled his demotion very well, and he just felt like John Kitna, if he got a chance to get back in there, he was going to show Mike Holmgren that he can really do the job.
Gets wrapped up from behind. Tony Bryant with his second sack of the season. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Let's go back and see what happened to Brock Huard.
As he was running, oh, nice. Reagan Upshaw, forearm right to the side of the head, and you can see why. Probably made him a little dizzy. And
if Molly's reading that body language at home, she doesn't like that a whole lot.
No, there's not much he can do about that.
2nd and 11. Kitna, quick pass. That one is complete to Darrell Jackson.
Well, this is not a good situation for the Seattle offense. John Kitna, the good thing is for him, he did get to practice with the first unit most of the week because of Huard's injury. But Seattle having trouble protecting the passer. The Raiders up 21-3. The Raider defensive linemen are thinking one thing. Let's get to the quarterback.
3rd and 3. Motion, Kitna going to take off and run, looking for the first down, and he might have come up just shy. Grady Jackson and Elijah Alexander hit him right at the 35-yard line.
See, your eyesight's bad, old man. It's good. You made it. Look at that.
They're not even going to measure.
Not even close.
Crushed.
Well, that's what happens when you want to anticipate. Look at John Gruden. He wants to know, how can you make that call so easily?
So do I.
Without measuring. Well, because the ball started on the 20, Greg, and the nose of that ball is on the 25. It's on the 35, so there you go.
Waters to about the 40. Charles Woodson making the tackle.
You know what I enjoyed? Friday afternoon, we got a chance to talk to John Gruden, and we talked to the coaches of each team as we get ready for every game, the head coaches. But John Gruden's so honest. And, you know, we had questions, and I asked him about specifically that defensive line, and he goes, I don't want to hear about 3-step drops. The quarterback's getting rid of it, and I'm getting double teamed. He wants guys to go out there and just get it done. And coaches don't want to, the old saying goes, don't tell me about all the pain. Just get it done. I know it's hard.
Sure, we asked him if he's excited about going up against his mentor, Mike Holmgren, and he said, oh, we played him in the preseason, and I loved it. It felt like Super Bowl 35.
Well, that's, you know, listen, Greg, that says a lot. That says a lot about him as a coach and what he tries to tell and emulate to his players, and that's why I think the Raiders played with more passion.
Kitna down the middle, incomplete, intended for Mealy, and it looked like the wind might have affected that pass too.
It might be a good thing, because if it was on target, it could have been picked off. As you look down the middle of the field, Kitna, the one thing you must do as a quarterback, oh, you can see if he leads it anymore, Greg Beaker's going to make the catch. So it's a good job by Kitna throwing away from the defense. But as a quarterback, when you throw down the field across the middle, don't look at the receiver, look at what's in front of the receiver.
2nd and 10. Quick drop, quick pass over the middle. That's complete to Christian Foria, number 86. It'll be 3rd and 3.
You know, when I watch this Seattle offense, Kitna does a good job. Looks to the left, nobody open. Comes all the way back to the right and finds his tight end. But when you watch this Seahawks team, and as I watch them get ready for the game, it's almost like last year, their offense. They make a lot of plays. In other words, they execute almost like it's drawn up on a board, but they just don't make enough big plays. Running backs don't take normal handoffs and score like we saw Tyrone Wheatley do.
Over the middle, incomplete, and Darrell Jackson was open. He had a shot at a first down and much more.
You're right, Greg. He was open, but what happens is Kitna has to move in the pocket, has to anticipate the throw a little more than he wants, and that's why it fell incomplete.
So Fiegels on to kick. And Darian Gordon is deep. Fiegels hands it up, gets it about the 10, and is going to roll dead inside the 5-yard line. So Fiegels does a good job of putting the Raiders back, and John Gruden a little less animated than he usually is, but boy, is he vocal over there on the sidelines at times.
Gary, are you going to jump his ass, or am I going to have to always jump it? Hey, love it. I love you guys. I love that. We got the boringest kickoff return in the history of this great league. Right there, right there. Atta baby, atta baby.
Oh, man, is that awesome. That is good stuff. I have to laugh because it really is, and it's not an act.
Oh.
And it's just him, and the passion is there. Friday afternoon after a long week, we see him, and he still can't turn it off. So
on first down, Wheatley gets the handoff, and Wheatley to about the 7 or the 8-yard line. Cortez Kennedy, Lamar King with the stop after a pickup of 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6, and their last 3 possessions have gone pretty well for the Raiders.
Yeah, you know, listen, this one's really, that one play 80-yard run is pretty awesome, but the Raider offense, I think it's been one of the best in the NFL this year so far, just because it's been so consistent, and no matter what the situations are, they can still come out there, make first downs, and give themselves chances to score.
Brown in motion on 2nd and 6. Out of the backfield, Ritchie, and Ritchie is hit by Anthony Simmons.
You know, Greg, I talked about Rich Gannon a little earlier about what John Gruden says, how he takes advantage of his talent. But also Gruden, he couldn't help but tell us the other day, too. He goes, hey, now, this guy, he is tough to coach. Because with Rich Gannon, he goes, every play is a crisis. There's always something wrong. Somebody lines up wrong. Coach, we should do this out of this formation and that. And he goes, it's really something. But it's a good mix between him and the quarterback. They're a lot alike. That's why I think they get along so well. And one of the reasons why Gannon's able to go on the field and play so well.
Play clock down to 1. They get the snap off. Wheatley tries the left side, tries to turn the corner, and dives for the first down marker. And did he get there?
Don't hesitate. Let's go.
I think he got there.
It's not even close. Yeah, if he got 3 more yards that he got there.
Oh, it's that one. 2:04 to play in the first half. And now the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes are left in the first half. I still can't see a thing. We're back right after this. Shane Leckler will kick this one right about from his goal line. He has had a good day kicking the football.
Yeah, he kicked them into the wind, Greg. Is some very long punts. Now he's got the breeze behind him.
This one's considerably poor. Line drive at about the 43-yard line. Charlie Rogers. And Rogers is run back after he gets it inside the 45 or so. 45-yard punt and a 13-yard return for Rogers.
Well, 21-3. Brock Hewitt on the sideline. It's got to be. I know he's not feeling well is one thing, but I think the big thing we're seeing there, just a major disappointment. You know, you're trying to take over a job. You want to get some continuity going, and you get a couple starts. Now all of a sudden, boom, it's over. You're sitting over there for a whole game, and you got to wait a week to get going again.
A little surprised at how relatively calm this very young guy was as we talked to him last night.
Yeah, you think about it though, Greg. He plays calm, so that you usually emulate what you are on the field sometimes in person, and he does that.
He promised me you wouldn't use emulate during the game.
Oh, studies.
Kittner throws over the middle, has his tight end Mealy, and the clock moving at 1:40 to play. Seattle with just one timeout remaining.
Yeah, the big thing for Seattle here, get a little confidence going into halftime, and somehow at least try to get 3 points out of this drive.
Kittner again over the middle and has his man again close to a first down, and that's Mealy.
I'd say keep it going. Don't call a timeout. Don't let the defense regroup and reorganize. Make them do things on the run and hope they make a mistake.
Kittner dodges the rush. Inside the 30 is Darrell Jackson. We're under a minute to play.
You see Chuck Bresnahan in these hurry-up situations. Instead of calling signals, just holds up a colored card.
Quick pass out of the backfield. 38 is Max Strong, and he is out of bounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, Phil. He might be just short of a first down.
Mike Holmgren calling the plays for Seattle's offense. But on the other side, Chuck Bresnahan, there's the color cards. And what he uses those for, if the offense goes in a hurry up, you don't have time to signal, and the defensive play caller get in the huddle and tell the players what to do. He holds it up. The whole defense looks over to the side. And they say, hey, red. Let's play the defense that stands for red.
I think you're missing what's important here. What's important is that I said he was short of the first down, and he is.
Oh, you got one right, huh?
Yeah.
That doesn't count, though. See, they only count on third downs.
It will be 3rd and inches at the 25-yard line.
See, I make up the rules as I go along.
45 seconds to play. Seattle, with one timeout remaining, would dearly love to get points on the board before halftime. And Kittner gets the first down. Now wants to kill the clock as the clock moves. And now it's not moving. It's at 40 seconds. Well, Bill Carollo having a conversation downstairs.
Chuck Bresnahan holding up a blue card that says B on it. Of course, I don't know what any of these stand for. But the clock stopped, Greg, because they're going to remeasure.
Sure, now they measure. They get the first down at the 25-yard line. Kittner got it, but not by much. And now Chuck Bresnahan's going to go green. Kittner throws near side, hits his man inside the 15. Sean Dawkins down to about the 10-yard line. And now they will use their 3rd and final timeout to stop the clock with 29 seconds to play in the half. Brock Heward with his seat on the Seattle bench been reduced to spectator. Ryan Lindell begins to loosen up. We have 29 seconds to play in the first half. The Seahawks behind Kitna are down to the 10-yard line. They have one timeout remaining. Kitna 5 out of 5 on this drive, 7 of 9 for the game.
Yeah, he's done a good job delivering the football on time, but probably the most impressive thing so far for Kitna, the defense has kind of confused him a couple times, and he's gone from like his first receiver, finding an outlet receiver, and it kept this drive going.
Ricky Waters flanked as a wide receiver. Kitna throws incomplete, and Anthony Dorsett almost took it the other way. Pass intended for Waters.
Boy, you are right, Greg. That could have been the game ender that time, and John Kitna took a big chance throwing that football out in the flat. Watch him as he looks down the field. Nobody gets open, keeps his feet planted, and then throws to the outside. Never really sees Anthony Dorsett, and whoosh.
2nd and 10. Whistle blows, penalty markers fly. That play will not count. Mealy appeared to be the one to move, or is coming across the middle. So this will be against the Seahawks. 21 seconds to play. John Gruden chasing down that play chart.
It's a good thing he's young. Still got a little speed.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 81, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
The penalty is on Sean Dawkins.
Now, the one thing I would do here if I was a Raider defense, you do not come after the quarterback. It's 2nd down. There's no timeouts left for Seattle. If they throw it inside, you tackle them. The best they can do is get a field goal attempt maybe with 21 seconds to go. So don't come after the quarterback and let him get rid of the football quick and get an easy touchdown against you. Use the end zone line as part of your defense.
2nd and 15. Kitna under pressure, throws, penalty marker is down in the backfield. It's a holding call against the Seahawks. Lance Johnstone thought for a second it was thrown in his direction and was making a plea from his knees.
Holding, 66, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Left guard Pete Kendall is guilty of the hold, and the Seahawks are going in the wrong direction.
Well, this is a situation, Greg, really. You send a play in, and you're hoping for a hope shot, and it should not be there. The Raiders just protect the outside. Well, Mike Holmgren is not even going to take that chance. He's going to come in and kick the field goal.
Ryan Lindell has kicked a 51-yarder this year. This will be a 43-yard attempt. It's away, and it's not good. Tough conditions down on the field, and Ryan Lindell, the rookie out of Washington State, misses to the right.
Well, to me, it doesn't look like he gets all the way through it. Kind of pushes it just a little to the right, and then you have the wind. You get no help, and you can even see the ball, the wind taking it farther to the right as it goes up there.
Well, Mike Holmgren's going to have to find some other way to regroup in the locker room.
Well, I've noticed, and Greg, just watching things, getting ready for this game, that Mike Holmgren has been pretty composed during the past few football games, but today, I don't think we're going to see that Mr. Composed head coach on the sideline in the second half.
How about Tyrone Wheatley? 118 rushing yards today. That's a new career high for him. And Brock Heward will leave the field very gingerly with that concussion.
That might be one of the best halves I've seen the Oakland Raiders play all year. defense, offense. They didn't make really big mistakes. That's why they lead 21-3.
Let's go down to Armin. Armin.
Coach, you told your message this week was not to let up against a 2-5 team. So far, so good.
They're the defending AFC Western champion. I don't know what anybody's records are this time of year. We got a lot of football yet to play, but we're happy to have the lead.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Armin, our halftime score, 21-3. Back in Oakland at halftime, 21-3 Raiders. Armin Katayan is with Mike Holmgren of the Seahawks.
Coach, what do you do here in the second half to regroup, particularly with this win?
Well, I think we got to continue trying to run the football and make first downs on offense. And when we have a chance to get down in the red zone like we did a couple times, we have to convert those to touchdowns, not field goals. Defense has done a pretty good job, except for a couple big plays against us. And the spirit's good in the locker room. We just have to keep battling. Ewert can't play anymore because of the concussion. So we just stay with it.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Armin, thanks. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms back upstairs. You heard Mike Holmgren say spirit's still good in the locker room, and that's important to him because the Raiders are playing really well today so far.
Yeah, the Raiders are playing very well, Greg. Their offense, I think, has been consistent all year. The big question for the Raiders was, could their defense step up and really make them not only a playoff contender, but a serious playoff contender? And they did that in the first half. For the first time, they came out. They didn't give up a lot of big plays. They didn't make, bad mistakes, and they're rounded into shape. Just like Chuck Bresnahan said, they need to mature, and they showed that in the first half.
Wind blew the football off the tee, so Janikowski will give it another try. The Seahawks had a 3-0 lead, and they owned the football before Eric Allen picked off a Heward pass, and things turned around. Oakland scored 3 touchdowns in a 10.5-minute span and lead at 21-3.
Well, the other thing was just Mike Holmgren trying to be optimistic about his team, putting a positive spin on what's happened so far here in the first half.
From the 1-yard line, Charlie Rogers. 20, 25, out to about the 29-yard line, maybe the 30. 28-yard return. And John Kitna comes back on as we take a look at the halftime numbers. First downs are even. Look at the rushing yards, though. Thanks to Tyrone Wheatley's 80-yard jaunt.
Yeah, that long run, and the fact that the Raiders, no turnovers, that was big. And Greg, you said it, Seattle's one turnover really kind of turned the tide in this football game.
Seattle has made it into Oakland territory on 4 of 6 possessions, but have come away with just 3 points. Ricky Waters with running room up the middle. There he goes. Waters to the 20. 10. Touchdown.
Looks like almost the same play, but a different uniform. And there is a flag on the field.
It appears they will bring this 70-yarder back. Mike Holmgren disagrees.
Holding, 81, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Dave Fay, the penalty is on number 81, Sean Dawkins.
Oh, on a play, a running play that's right up the middle. Sean Dawkins, number 81. Look in your far right corner.
Got some jersey.
Well, he got enough. That right there, it's a tough call. Eric Allen probably would have made the tackle before Ricky Waters took off on that long run. That's why, as a receiver, Greg, you've got to block every single run like it's going to break, and it could go all the way. It happens like once every 5 games, but you never know when that play is going to happen.
8th penalty of the day on the Seahawks. Waters to the 43-yard line. We have seen the rookie Sean Alexander on just 1 play today. Ricky Waters has come out running hard and running well.
Well, what did Mike Holmgren say about Ricky Waters? You know, you draft the guy, Sean Alexander, first round, he's going to come in and take the job, but he goes, it's hard because Ricky Waters practices every day hard. He plays in the games. He's doing well. I think the biggest thing I've noticed about Ricky Waters, he's trimmed up and he's regained some speed, and that's why he's been more productive in the game.
And as we talked about, as Sean Alexander comes in to spell him and takes the handoff. And struggles out to about the 45. William Thomas makes the tackle. Sean Alexander, the rookie out of Alabama, and the number 19 pick overall in the draft.
Yeah, and he's been a nice addition to this football team. Him, Daryl Jackson, Brock Heward, McIntosh, the right tackle. A lot of young guys trying to be part of the future for the Seattle Seahawks. And you see Sean Alexander.
Alabama's all-time rushing leader with 3,565 yards. They're going to give it to Alexander again. Running room, midfield, first down at the 45-yard line of the Raiders.
Well, that's impressive. You get a holding penalty, and you just come right back, and you run the football up in there a few times, and you get another first down. And Mike Holmgren, he's right, 21-3. Don't just start throwing the football every down. Stay with your game plan, because the game plan you had when you started this game can still win for you.
From the 45, Alexander still in the backfield. Going to get it again. He'll pick up a couple. Tony Bryant reels him in after about a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, also, as Mike Holmgren was talking to Armin Catania, just his mood, and I think he went in at halftime, and I thought maybe he would read the players the riot act, but it sounds like he went in and put the positive spin on things, and that seems to be his way right now. I think he understands that this team is in transition. A lot of young guys. He likes their enthusiasm, so keep it positive, because they have a better chance of performing well when the coach talks positive.
Ricky Waters back in, and he gets the handoff, and he is going to lose the football. The Raiders say they have it. What? The officials say haven't said yet, and now the ball is retained by the Seahawks.
Well, what happens so many times to running backs when they're fighting for extra yardage? This time Ricky Waters breaks the tackle. Harris comes up. Grady Jackson knocks the football loose. Eric Allen can't get it. And the Seahawks hustling, get in there and get the loose ball.
Looks like it fell right back down between Ricky Waters' legs. 3rd and 10, Kitten to the throw. Throws incomplete, intended for Waters. Did that ball hit Beekert in the arm as he was going for the tackle?
It did. Beekert saw Ricky Waters coming across, and he went up to make the hit. But we said earlier, as a quarterback, you've got to see in front of the receiver. John Kittner, look, you could see, he did not see Greg Beekert. Nowhere to go, even if you catch it.
Beagles will kick. Darian Gordon back on his own 10-yard line. Only the 2nd time Beagles has had to punt today. Sky high. Toward the end zone and bounces at the goal line and through. 45-yard punt. First touchback of the season. Beagles. Seattle defensive coordinator Steve Sidwell, who admitted to us last night, you know, he's had a problem. He says we're not stout and piles are moving on a consistent basis. He's looking for some improvement here as the Raiders take over, and Napoleon Kaufman flanked as a wide receiver. Straight ahead Wheatley for a couple. But this Seattle defense, Phil, has been giving up yardage at a frightening rate. Way too much. The last 4 games, 303 yards to the Chargers, 378 to the Chiefs. The Panthers rang up 447, and look at what the Colts did a week ago. See, it rains a lot in Seattle, Phil, is the word you get.
Makes me feel bad. Defense not playing well, the rain. And look at today, the Raiders, 214.
On 2nd and 7. Gannon wants to throw. Ricky Dudley, the tight end, and Dudley has first down yardage across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Well, you know, Rich Gannon, you want to keep him in the pocket. They've done a good job so far today, but he can show you, he's showing me that he can beat you from there. Look at that arm angle. I think that the fact that Rich Gannon throws a lot of passes sidearm is one of the reasons why he is so accurate, especially with those crossing patterns. The receiver is going so fast, like that time Ricky Dudley, he can drop his arm down. It lets him control the football really well, and he puts it on target.
Gannon has hit 5 of his last 5. And there's movement.
When we talked to Rich Gannon the other day now, look, he's having a great year. And he played so well last year.
Encroachment, 92. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Lamar King.
But he can get, to his credit, that's what he is. He's a fighter. This guy's always going to fight. But he can... All right, Bill, thank you. But he gets a little defensive when you start talking about him running around, throwing the football. He goes, I'm not a scrambling quarterback, a running quarterback. He wants you to know that you make me stand there, I'll beat you throwing the football from the pocket, too.
Well, and the only thing is, the defense would prefer that he beats them that way rather than scrambling around. Gannon, pump fake. Now throws this side. It is complete to Jeremy Brigham, the tight end, at about midfield, and it's a reception. 9-yard pickup on the play and a first down.
Well, it's just a good job by Rich Gannon. They're trying to go deep to Tim Brown down the field, but they back off of him. Nobody's open. And look at Willie Williams. He's looking back because he knows Rich Gannon's looking deep to the other side. And then when he turns, he goes all the way across the field. That's why Brigham is wide open.
Jeremy Brigham, the number 2 tight end behind Ricky Dudley. First down at the 49-yard line. Kaufman, right side, marker down in the backfield as Kaufman is smacked down at midfield by Kerry Joseph and Sean Springs. And this one will be against the Raiders.
The one thing I have noticed today, Greg, about the Seattle defense, the effort is there. Steve Sidwell said at least we're getting more guys that run to the football.
Personal foul, face mask, 83, offense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties on Ricky Dudley. Well, it's Steve Sidwell telling us, you go in and you try to explain what they're doing wrong and what you want. And he said sometimes it looks like a bunch of brook trout looking back at you.
That means they're just sad about their performance. But really, and we had a long discussion about this, the one thing that you've got to take for granted, especially with the defensive side of your football team, is that they're going to hustle to the football. So that's been one of the main problems with the Seattle defense.
First and 25. Gannon throws to Kaufman out of the backfield. He loses a tackler. He loses another one. And it's down at the 45-yard line by Sean Springs. That's a pickup of 11, and it'll be 2nd and 14. Napoleon Kaufman in his 6th year out of the University of Washington. And Rich Gannon, as he has done more with the Oakland Raiders, has spread the football around a great deal. Well, 7 different players with a reception.
I'm sorry, Greg. That's the thing. Rich Gannon scrambling. You got 2 runners who can run with it and do a lot of things. Then all of a sudden, let's throw the ball to Tim Brown. Oh, no, let me throw something to Ricky Dudley. Then Napoleon Kaufman, a big part of the passing game, too.
Kaufman finds a hole. Penalty marker is down at midfield. There's a pickup of 8, but I would suspect this will be a hold.
The Raiders are determined not to make a drive of this.
Holding, 74, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Left tackle Matt Stinchcomb, and John Gruden called his left tackle, left guard, and center the law firm of Stinchcomb, Wisniewski, and Robbins.
Yeah, sounds like it, doesn't it?
So that'll back the ball up now to about the 36-yard line.
It was interesting, though, when we were talking to Gruden, I was trying to figure out, what is this Raider offense about? And after he explained to me, I said, I understand now. It's about a lot of things. They have like 5 different offenses. One to run it strong, one to run it outside with Kaufman. We have a passing game for Tim Brown, the vertical game for James Jett, and everybody's trying to find their piece of this offense, so he designs plays for all those people.
2nd and 24. Wheatley out of the backfield to the 45, to the 47-yard line. Kerry Joseph, Lamar King converge for the tackle. A 10-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 14.
And then you give it to your guy who likes to splatter the defense, and that means Tyrone Wheatley, hey, This is why he's on the team. When there's plays about to be over, lower that head and get some tough yardage for us. And after the play, he left off the field.
So it's now 3rd and 14. Wheatley on the sideline. Kaufman, or Randy Jordan rather, in the backfield. 8 straight completions by Gannon.
Here comes the blitz. He checked off.
Pump fake, goes downfield. Tim Brown came back for it. It is intercepted, you bet. Willie Williams with the bobbling ball. He picked it off before it hit the ground.
Did you see, I don't know if you could see it on TV, that football moved at least 10 feet in the air. Tim Brown, they see the blitz, they go for the slant and go, it's there. The wind knocks it down, that causes the interception.
And Willie Williams with a great pick. We'll go the other way. How was your night in the big house, Phil?
Oh, lovely.
Kittner under the gun, shakes the tackler and throws it away. Reagan Upshaw was in a hurry on Kittner. Let's go back to the interception, which Willie Williams will gladly thank the wind for.
Watch it. Rich Gannon thrown into the wind, pumps it, and boom. It's just destroyed that football. And what an interception by Willie Williams. The football way underthrown. Tim Brown kicks it up in the air. Nice reaction, gets his arm under it.
Great job by Williams. Never quit on the ball. 2nd and 10.
Tim Brown had him beat by 5 yards, except the wind knocked the football down.
Hitting a quick drop, throws outside. That's complete to Darrell Jackson. Out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So Mike Holmgren looking for a little action. You know, it was funny, you're talking with Holmgren about, I said, you're kind of like Johnny Appleseed with all of the assistants that you've had now sprinkled all over the league. And he said, you know, if he says anything, just let me know. I'll be happy to shoot it down.
Well, look at all of his assistants, Greg. You see him there. And also one that was his assistant, Ray Rhodes, who was a head coach too at Green Bay and Philadelphia. So 6 assistants off of his former assistants have been head coaches in the National Football League.
3rd and 6. Kittner pulls it down, up the middle. Going to be short of a first down as he's brought down to the 39-yard line. Beekert and Josh Taves converge to make the hit.
Well, good job by John Kittner, recognizing nothing open, nothing downfield. Does the right thing, pulls the football down. Can't get the first down.
So on to the field comes Jeff Beagles and the punting unit.
And I was going to say, both teams have done a very good job of handling the wind here today so far, but it seems to be a bigger factor so far in the second half than it was in the first.
Some kind of a punch Beagles launches here. Gordon lets it bounce at the 20. And it rolls out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. We have 5:07 to play in the third quarter, 43-yard punt. We remind you to log on to NFL.com game and read about the NFL's all-time sack masters. It's only on NFL.com. Thankfully, that is not a real Seattle Seahawk.
Well, what did Michael Sinclair, defensive lineman for the Seahawks, say? He goes, boy, I love playing this environment. The fans here, they get you excited even though you're playing on the road.
Wheatley. And Wheatley is down, and now penalty markers are down. Loss of 2 on the play. And Bill Carollo is going to tell us why the markers.
And that flag was thrown from about 40 yards away. And that's why.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation. Left tackle on the offense was uncovered. Face mask, number 92 on the defense. The penalty's offset. Replay first down.
So it'll still be 1st and 10. The very animated John Gruden going back to work.
Yeah, how about that? We said to Mike Holmgren, we were making fun of all the faces that John Gruden makes in the sideline. And Mike Coleman goes, where'd they come from? You know, he goes, I know what he's trying to do. He's giving all those looks over there because he's trying to look older. Making fun of the fact that he is
trying to develop a wrinkle between those eyes.
Yeah.
Wheatley, running room, 25. First down, out of bounds, across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Jay Bellamy rode him out after an 18-yard pickup.
Well, you can even hear the sound on your TV set. The offensive line of the Raiders, it's big and powerful. Watch the right side. Good job by Mo Collins, number 79. Helps the center, then comes up and gets George Coons, the middle linebacker, and Tyrone Wheatley looking quick today.
John Ritchie with a big block on Chad Brown to spring him on the right side, too. Wheatley now 11 carries today for 140 yards.
The size difference from the Raiders' offensive line to the Seahawks' defensive line could be a problem here for Seattle in the second half.
Wheatley again. To about the 40. He'll pick up 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Well, you know, it may sound like we're overdoing it a little bit on John Gruden. You know, he is easily the most entertaining head coach in the National Football League, without question. How many different faces can a head coach come up with during the course of a game?
It's like the Brady Bunch, as you look at him. And those are, yeah, the bottom right was the best. When he looks up in the corner of his eye and you go, what did I do?
On 2nd and 7, Gannon to throw. Wide open across the middle, Brigham. And Brigham is down at about the 47-yard line, enough for a first down.
Well, you notice if you're a smaller defense, which Seattle is, when you start getting pushed around a little, then when the quarterback does drop back to pass, there's just nobody around Rich Gannon. He is going to find an open receiver and make an accurate throw almost every time in situations like that.
Gannon had a superb day throwing the football last week, having another one this afternoon. Wheatley to midfield and just across midfield into Seattle territory.
You know, it's interesting. You watch the game, and we've talked so much today about Rich Gannon, and I said something to Tim Brown, you know, that because I know Rich Gannon's vocal with the players and even with John Gruden, the head coach, and Tim Brown last year was going like, you know, cool down there, Rich. You just do your job, and we'll do ours. But this year, it's different. Tim Brown knows that's just part of his makeup. That's how he keeps himself going and keeps everybody else on edge, so they know they got to perform, or the quarterback is going to be right there telling them they're doing it wrong.
Wheatley on 2nd and 6 to about the 46-yard line. There's a lot of football in that Gannon family. His father-in-law, Bill Brown, the former Minnesota Vikings running back, and a good one too.
Yeah, that's right. Played quite a few years up in Minnesota, and I asked Rich Gannon when you talk to him, you know, what kind of, do you have a lot of football conversations? Because went to the Pro Bowl 5 times, Bill Brown. He says, no, we don't really talk a lot about football. We talk about other things. And, well, I don't know how he does it. If I had a son-in-law in the NFL, I'd be asking 1,000 questions or giving my opinions.
3rd and 3. Jordan and Ritchie in the background. That's Tim Brown in motion. Gannon steps up, throws as he's being hit, and it's incomplete. So Shane Leckler will come onto the field to kick it away for the Raiders.
Well, it's a good job that time. You keep Rich Gannon in the pocket, and they cover well down the field. So that what it does, when you do get good coverage, look, he has to step up. Then that second layer of defensive linemen, that time Cortez Kennedy, he waits for the quarterback. He moves up, you make the hit, and he has to throw it away.
Charlie Rogers at his own 10-yard line. And Leckler will be looking for a sideline. So he kicks it right down the middle of the field. And Charlie Rogers with the fair catch at about the 14-yard line. 32-yard punt, and we'll take a timeout. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, and him back in Oakland, where the Raiders are leading. Him too. Oh, Hey, 5 heads are better than 1.
Not necessarily.
John Kitno just 1 out of 3, and he lost the football. Raiders say they have it, and they do. Greg Biekert on the loose ball.
Watch the exchange between the quarterback and the center. The football fell straight down, and when that happens, I was always taught, when it falls straight down, it's the quarterback's fault. That means he didn't wrap his bottom hand around the football.
How about that statistic? 38 turnovers over their last 16 football games. And a golden opportunity for the Oakland Raiders. Just outside the 10-yard line. Mike Holmgren on the sideline as that ball hit the ground. Excedrin headache number.
Boy, I tell you what, he is really controlling himself. And I don't know, might be time to try the opposite approach. You got young players that are making mistakes. Bring them in tomorrow, shock them, yell at them, do whatever it takes, because there's a lot of football games that still to be played, and you can't keep making mistakes like they've done so far today.
Rich Gannon calls timeout, stops the clock with 34 seconds to play here in the third. First timeout used by either team here in the second half. We'll be right back. Well, with Kansas City playing the explosive Rams, I'm sure Oakland thought they could put some distance between themselves and the Chiefs, but the Chiefs rose up and handed the Rams their first loss of the season today. On 2nd and 5, Wheatley, penalty marker slide, as Wheatley gets to about the 8, maybe the 7. And a little more shoving.
Well, when the head linesman comes in there, that means the formation could be offense or defense. Defense could line up off sides. Or somebody moved.
Illegal formation. Number 74 is uncovered on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Well, that's Matt Stinchcomb, but that's not his fault. He's just the last guy on the end of the line of scrimmage. And what has to happen? A wide receiver or the tight end must get on the line of scrimmage to his side. You cannot leave an offensive lineman uncovered.
It's kind of unfair to call his name and number out, you know, and it's not his fault.
Yeah, I heard the crowd kind of moan. That's twice they've heard 74.
74. 2nd and 10 from the 15.
You out with man. You in the middle.
Penalty marker down again. Pass out complete to Wheatley. Still on his feet and now knocked down just inside the 10-yard line. Same official near side line of scrimmage through the flag. And Rich Gannon's looking none too pleased.
Illegal formation. Number 74 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Now it's Matt's fault.
Now this time it is his fault. Passing situation, the line of scrimmage, you've got to at least have your head up to the waist of the offensive lineman, and it's not there.
He's as deep in the backfield as Tim Brown is.
You think it's a pass?
Each team now penalized 9 times today. And we'll run out of time for the third quarter. That's the end of the quarter, 21-3, and we'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. Tyrone Wheatley being looked at on the sideline. 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line. Gannon, pump fake, and is hit from behind. Lost the football. And fallen on by the Raiders. Gannon did that earlier and got away with it. This time he was run over in the backfield.
And you can see why. Number 94, Chad Brown, keeps hustling, comes from behind, makes the hit, and causes the fumble. Chad Brown, known, he's like a He's a linebacker, but he's a speed rusher from the outside. And Mike Holmgren couldn't say enough nice things about him last night. He is playing hard, and he's been productive.
Mo Collins fell on the ball for Oakland. 3rd and 17. Gannon dodges up the middle. Brought down just inside the 15-yard line by King. Lamar King made the tackle, and onto the field comes Sebastian Janikowski. We asked John Gruden if he had a couple of heart-to-heart talks with Janikowski this week. He said, "You might say that."
Well, Greg, I think what they've done, they've really straightened out some of the things he was doing wrong. And the biggest one, which caught me by surprise, Janikowski slowing down and waiting to see the football put down before he just went up there and kicked at the spot where he thought it was going to be.
32-yard field goal. That is good with plenty to spare. 13:33 to play. 4th quarter. 24-3. Oakland in the lead. The man in the glasses is Al Davis, the man in charge of the Oakland Raiders. That's great Oakland center Jim Otto, seated right in front of him. But the Raiders stand poised to go 6-1 for the first time at the start of a season in 10 years. If they hold on to beat Seattle here today, Janikowski to kick. And Al Davis knows he has a winner in John Gruden and is not going to let this one get away, Phil.
Well, I've heard or read that he said once, hey, I let one good young coach get away once, and that would be Mike Shanahan. He's not going to let this one get away, and John Gruden is rewarding him with these victories and having a team that represents the Raiders well on the field.
Janikowski gets this one into the end zone. It will not be returned by Charlie Rogers. Kitna and the Seahawks start from their own 20-yard line. Ricky Waters for a couple to the 22.
Well, Mike Holmgren said at halftime, we're going to stay with our running game and keep trying to win the game that way. But I tell you what, that game plan's got to go out the window, because you cannot win this football game by sticking it up inside. Every once in a while you do it just to keep them honest, but you got to make plays in the passing game now.
All the more difficult with John Kitna now throwing directly into the wind. Quick drop. Kitna throws over the middle and has his man. Loose football. No! It is incomplete. Tula Mealy on the receiving end.
I'll tell you what the Raiders have done very well today on defense. It's an incomplete pass. They're disguising their defense because Kitna that time had to look left, and he has to come back right to a second receiver, and you can see Mealy never gets the ball in total possession. That's why it was ruled incomplete. There's some up camp. One hand, tries to get it with two.
I kind of thought he possessed it, but that's just me.
You've been wrong all day.
Yes, I noticed it. 3rd and 8. And we have a flag. Delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this is the time of game. 24-3. John Kitna, you just got to force the team to hang in there and keep fighting. You got to talk to them. You got to get some energy going on offense. Otherwise, you're just going to sit out there and take a beating.
Yeah, and you were right, Phil. At Mike Holmgren, it may be time for him to change tactics because you got to do something.
That's right. You can only be nice to the young and inexperienced so long.
Kitna throws. Mealy, 25, 28-yard line. That'll be short of a first down. Anthony Dorsett there to make the stop, and they'll come in to kick it away.
You know, Anthony Dorsett, I've noticed he's really done a good job today. Been in position. One thing Chuck Bresnahan said about him, he overcommits a few times, takes some bad angles, and gives up big plays. But today he's been very good, and that's what you'd want a deep safety or weak safety to do for your football team.
Seattle has failed to make a first down on its last 3 possessions. Eagles kick.
There you go.
Floats down and bounces out of bounds inside, right about the 26-yard line. It'll be first down for the Raiders and Rich Gannon when we come back. Well, Mike Holmgren would like to see his defense stand up and make a statement here as the Raiders take over first down at their own 27-yard line and look to take some time off the clock with a 24-3 lead. Raiders with 174 rushing yards today. Hoffman for a couple. George Kuntz with the tackle, and we check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, we're talking about Rich Gannon and how he really believes in himself as a quarterback, and it dates back to his days at Delaware when one of the New England assistant coaches came out and worked him out. First thing he did, he ran a nice 4.5 40. Then he asked him to throw a few passes. And then he said, would you mind backpedaling for me? And Gannon goes, what do you mean, backpedal? What kind of coach are you? And the guy goes, well, I'm a defensive back coach. He goes, that's it. The workout's over, man. I'm not a defensive back. I'm a quarterback. And he's believed that ever since.
Thanks, Armin. On 2nd and 8. Gannon will give it to Kaufman again, and Kaufman hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Gannon's story all the more remarkable by the fact that he missed the entire 94 season with shoulder surgery.
Yeah, you know, there's so many things you can say about him, Greg. He's just one of those quarterbacks that doesn't quite do it by the book, doesn't look the part sometimes. I think Steve Sidwell, the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, said it right. He goes, he's just one of those quarterbacks, a guy that everybody's always trying to replace because he just doesn't fit the role like they want. But John Gruden went out, picked him up as a free agent, knew what he was looking for, and he found the right guy for his offense and for this team.
Gannon looking at a 3rd and 10. And presumably will put it up now. Flair over the middle to Randy Jordan. Jordan breaks free. Out over the 45 to the 47-yard line and a first down.
Good protection by the Raider offensive line. But also, they do so much of this. Jordan coming out of the backfield. Most teams, they catch it. They look to see what's going to happen in front of them. Jordan catches it, and it's right up the field for positive yards and picks up a first down.
And the fine young linebacker, Anthony Simmons, is down on the field, and they're looking to him now. He was the first-round pick of the Seahawks back in 1998, now in his 3rd season out of Clemson. We'll take a timeout and come back and check on Simmons right after this. Anthony Simmons walked off the field under his own power and is being tended to on the sideline. He's been replaced by number 55, Marcus Bell, the rookie out of Arizona. Napoleon Kaufman, running room, up the middle, 40, 30, inside the 25-yard line, first down. Marcus Bell made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
Well, the Raiders all day long have been faking this reverse, and that reverse is making the defense kind of stop and watch. You'll see Tim Brown come around, and look what it does to the backside, because they're waiting to see if Tim Brown has the football. Nobody there to close the hole down, and Napoleon Kaufman takes advantage of it.
29-yard pickup by Kaufman. First down, Oakland, now at the 24-yard line. Kaufman again. And not much there.
You know, Greg, I think we have seen the fake reverse about 5 times today, and every time they're running the same running play, the back cuts it back because the reverse is coming to one side. The defensive end, the safeties, the corners, they stay there. There's nobody there to close it down and make a tackle, and they are just ripping off some long runs because of that.
Be kind of a relief when that reverse happens to actually, you know.
Well, yeah, I keep thinking they're going to do it, but not in the 4th quarter, 24-3. They're not going to hand the ball to Tim Brown in a running play now.
Anthony Simmons is back onto the field for the Seahawks and made that last tackle. Gannon, time, throws, has his man this side. James Jett, touchdown. Jett scores his first touchdown of the year. And with under 8.5 minutes to play, Oakland just putting the nails in the coffin of this one.
It's a nice throw. The fake really sells it out to the defense. Look, nobody in front of Rich Gannon. But watch James Jett. The angles it gets him, he just turns it on because of his speed and still able to get in the end zone.
First of the year for Jett. Third touchdown pass of the day for Gannon. Janikowski with the exclamation point. For Rich Gannon, 100 career touchdown passes. This one to James Jett, and the Raiders are in charge. Welcome back to Oakland. Rich Gannon, his 100th career touchdown pass. James Jett, his first touchdown catch since October 24th of last season against the New York Jets. Charlie Rogers from his own 9-yard line, 20. Forward to the 24-yard line, and let's go back to the touchdown.
You run the football well, and look what happens in the passing game when you fake the run. James Jett going to come all the way across the field. Tim Brown will just get out of the way and clear the defense. Watch the fake. Look, nobody back trying to defend the underneath. Perfect sidearm throw by Rich Gannon. Look at him. He knows he's going to be open, following him all the way across, dips down. I'm going to tell you, on a windy day, that is a terrific throw. Let's see Rich Gannon if he gets excited at all.
Calling today's work.
He really knows how to celebrate, doesn't he?
The screen for Waters to the 35, and it's a first down. 11-yard pickup, and number 50, Eric Barton, makes the tackle for the Raiders.
Well, I know this, when Seattle goes home and they watch the tapes and Mike Homer gets finished with them, there's going to be a little soul searching going on. You know, there was some pretty good effort out there today, but they didn't fight long enough. You know, a lot of times winning or losing in the NFL, it just comes down to who is willing to fight longer, because it's going to be tough.
Seahawks with only their third first down of this second half. Kitna over the middle, and that comes up short of Waters. It'll be second down. Well, recently, Mike Holmgren paid a visit to the defensive film sessions and sat in and offered his thoughts and opinions.
Well, yes, Steve Sidwell told us that, and it came down to that he just wanted to come in and make sure the coaches are teaching the right things. In other words, sometimes you got to make sure you're coaching the right way to give your players a chance. Then if you are, then you evaluate your players and say, well, listen, the problem is we're just not good enough.
Waters, this side, 40 to about the 43-yard line, and is short of a first down. Bobby Brooks making the stop for the Raiders. A pickup of 9. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I got to tell you what, though, Ricky Waters, he came to play, and he really is. This guy plays with passion. He plays hard. He's been in the league many years, and he's been the featured running back for 3 different teams, and he's had another terrific day.
He takes a breather, and Sean Alexander comes onto the field. Ricky Waters, 141 total yards on the afternoon. 3rd and 1. Alexander gets the call, has a first down across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
And Sean Alexander, you stand over on the sideline watching Ricky Waters have a big day. You should learn from what he's doing. That it just takes great effort, a lot of study, and you just got to come out here and do it, and Ricky Waters has done that today. That's why we haven't seen Sean Alexander.
Well, Sean Alexander's going to get to go over and learn some more because
that's right.
Ricky Waters comes back onto the field.
Well, also, you keep Ricky Waters in the game in this position. He's better at picking up blitzes and pass rushers than Sean Alexander.
Pass complete to Dawkins, near side, and Dawkins inside the 40-yard line. That'll be another Seahawks first down. Second tier of linebackers is into the game now for the Raiders. Barton, Brooks, and Travian Smith.
First down at the Raiders 39.
Nice throw by John Kitna. Sean Dawkins coming back to Seattle.
Beekert and Alexander looking on from the sideline. From the 39. Waters pulls his way to the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You know, Greg, we were up in Vancouver 3 years ago watching a game, and I thought, Ricky Waters with the Seattle is playing San Francisco. I thought this will probably be his last year with the Seattle Seahawks. I thought, well, it's coming to an end, but he's kind of rededicated himself, and like a lot of good players do, you know, tough old throws, got in condition, and still, you know, a very productive player.
Yeah, Waters appears to have enough for the first down there. A 5-time Pro Bowler. He spent his first 4 years with the 49ers right across the bay. 3 years with Philadelphia, now in his 3rd season here with the Seattle Seahawks.
You know, a lot of people think, and I even got this on my mind too, when you look at this team, you've got a first-round draft pick, Sean Alexander. He's going to come in now for Ricky Waters. But you think, well, Ricky Waters might not be with this team next year, but the way he's playing, I can't imagine. You need 2 good running backs nowadays, and I think next year when he comes around, you'll see both of them back there again.
Alexander. What about the 27? And the thing about Ricky Waters, he has been incredibly durable at a position that's very, very tough to stay healthy. Today was Waters' 105th straight regular season start.
Well, you're right, it is. These running backs get hurt so much, and not even though they get hurt, so many of them just wear down, and from one year to the next, they just don't look near as explosive or, you know, as good, but that has not been the case with him the last few years.
2nd and 8, movement up front, penalty markers fly, and Alexander
don't stop.
Gets hit at the 25-yard line.
Did you hear a whistle? You know, don't stop. You know, some of the Seattle offensive linemen were not finishing the playoff.
Offside, defense, 59. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
I think he means number 57, Roderick Coleman, who was on the defensive line.
You know what? I like what Seattle has done, too, in this last drive. You know, Mike Homer just wasn't going to drop back and throw it every down and let this game just get worse than it is. He's going to just keep it settled down, take advantage of the fact that maybe the Raiders are thinking pass. They substituted some of their defensive players. Let's get some positive things going, run the football, and keep my quarterback in good position.
You know, we're coming up on Halloween, but all season long it's Halloween here in Oakland.
Now, you know what really amazes me, we say this, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Does his wife sit home and make him up, or does he do it himself?
Alexander stopped at the 20-yard line, and that's short of a first down.
I mean, if I could do that for my son, and he could go out and go trick-or-treating, he would be, like, ecstatic. It would be great.
I'd say, how about if we could do it for you the night before a game?
Ooh, look at that. That's hair. Now, that is nice. Looks like something I'd see on a boat. What do they call that thing?
Sail.
No, not the sail. The thing that makes it...
The rudder?
Yeah, there you go. Rudder. That's a nice look, too. Aidens.
You know, it's important to be creative here. We have an injured player down on the field.
Yeah, it's peer pressure with these fans. What are you going to wear today? Well, you know, you hear it, Greg. We heard it from Michael Sinclair from Seattle. It is a great environment for players. You know, you want fans to have emotion. You want them to care about your football team. It makes the players on the field feel good.
You know, it doesn't seem to matter what age you are. You can dress up to your heart's content.
That's great. I love it.
You know, Brock Heward told us he was looking forward to playing here. He said there's one corner of the field that's unlike anywhere else. You can really feel their hate. Oh, the player is still down at the 22-yard line and haven't been able to tell who it is. He's surrounded by help. There's one end. That's the end of the end zone that Brock Heward had been warned about. Brock Heward, incidentally, did not come out of the locker room in the second half after suffering that concussion which knocked him out in the first half.
Yeah, you know, the bad thing about that is, Greg, it's Pete Kendall who was down. Offensive guard and a good player, too, for this offensive line of Seattle.
First-round draft pick back in '96.
I was talking about Brock Heward, though, Greg. Not coming back out in the second half. What is bad about it is that it'll be hard for him to recover and be ready to play again next week after a concussion and feeling so bad over it.
3rd and 1. And loose ball. Kitna lost it. Roderick Coleman fell on it, and the Raiders take over.
Well, it looked like to me Kitna came out quick. Watch the football. It's up. The bottom, yep, he's pulling out. The bottom hand does not get underneath the football. You know, situations like this, that looks pretty good.
And 57, Roderick Coleman is right there.
You know what? It doesn't matter whose fault it is. The quarterback's going to have to take the blame for it. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, when there was a mistake and you can't determine who made it, as a quarterback, you just got to take the blame. And John Kitna's reaction tells me that it could be him.
Kitna's 2nd fumble today. 3rd Seattle turnover on the afternoon. Back to the ground game, Napoleon Kaufman carry. And Bobby Hoying is now in at quarterback. Rich Gannon's work is done for the day. Pickup of 1, and it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Rich Gannon, nice game today. You know what? He even played better than that. It was a good game considering the circumstances, the wind. I thought he threw the football well. And the interception, he was just unfortunate. The conditions, the wind, knocked maybe a touchdown pass down, and it turned into an interception.
Randy Jordan and Zach Crockett are the backs behind Hoying. And this is Jordan to about the 22.
You know, again, talking about Rich Gannon, when I talked about him being on the cover of Sports Illustrated, this, that, and the press, he's the kind of guy, you know, just thinking about getting attention, just, ooh, he didn't like it. Don't be bothering me with that. He just wants to play, stay in his world, and be part of this winning team.
We asked him if he takes a lot of it home with him. He says, well, he's got 2 young girls at home, and it's kind of nice to be able to go home and forget about the game and forget about what happens at the office. Coming up on the 2-minute warning right now. 2 minutes to play here in Oakland, and the Raiders on their way to a 6-1 start this season. Bobby Hoying is the quarterback for the Raiders, looking at 3rd and 8. Jordan is stopped at about the 22-yard line, and it'll be 4th down, and the Raiders will kick it away. Oakland with a 206-yard rushing day.
Well, it's always nice to talk about what you want to do during the week, and then when you come out and do it on the weekend, it's really satisfying because so much planning and so much work goes into it. So the Raiders wanted to run the football. That's where their advantage was, and they took it. They did it over 200 yards, so they can feel good about what they've done today.
Rogers watches this punt sail down inside the 30, and he picks it up to the 40, to the 45, and that's where he's brought down. 1:06 to play here in the 4th quarter, and the Oakland Raiders off to a 6-1 start for the first time in 10 seasons. Kansas City at 4-3, Denver shocked by the Bengals and Corey Dillon at 4-4. Seattle will drop to 2-6, and San Diego is 0-7. And Matt Lytle has come on to quarterback the Seattle Seahawks now. First-year man out of the University of Pittsburgh. Sean Alexander is into the lineup, and will take the handoff.
Come on!
There's John Kitna, who came on, started the season as the regular season quarterback for the Seahawks, replaced 3 games ago as the starter by Brock Heward, and came on in relief in the first half when Heward was sidelined for concussion. Clock continues to move, and this is very likely the final play of this game. Sean Alexander Gets to the outside, gets a first down, and is run out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
Well, there's John Gruden. I'll tell you what, Greg, for the first time, you just got 6-1. Now, when you get 6-1 in the National Football League, especially, look at this Raider team. The question mark was the defense. It played much better today. The offense is consistent. It's going to score against any defense in the National Football League. So at 6-1, the Raiders are absolutely going to be part of the playoff picture.
He was excited about meeting up with Mike Holmgren in the preseason. You know it thrills him to have Mike Holmgren come in here today and his Raiders register a convincing win by a score of 31-3, and he's on his way across the field to shake hands with the man who was once his boss. That was it. We'll talk later. Once again, our final score, the Raiders 31 and the Seahawks 3.